Yes, there really weren't a lot of options remaining. As far as dungeons, I mean, there's
No.
Mire and Ice Palace. Which one do you pick? Since they both chose Mire. Ice Palace without the hammer as well. Well, it looks like we have our feedback on.
Start calling from the actual stream that everybody else is seeing. Thank you, Based Fiesel. We found the lantern. Good job, chat. Shoutouts to JoJo's463 there. Good call.
Nice. All right, Quake at Argus is going to be necessary for Turtle Rock, so that's a good find. But it's probably going to walk right back in his dungeon as soon as he walks out to check the remaining locations while Jig-Heart's on the way to finding his hammer.
So we know that the hammer is here in Misery Mire. We know about to pick it up. Fred, other than Quake, did not find pretty much anything here in Swamp Palace. So now he's going to go back and do the west side of Swamp Palace. Did he grab the big key, Super Scudge? Or the big chest?
He has not.
Okay, so he's got
Pretty
three
sure.
more items to look for here in Swamp Palace. So there's Jighart's hammer.
Oh, he did
wonder
get it.
if
Never mind.
Oh, it's all right. Obviously, that's completely dependent on when and where you get the big key if you're trying to do a quick clear of Swamp Palace.
Yeah. One interesting thing about doing Swamp Palace this way, where you do the north side before west, is you cannot accidentally drown the key because you don't have an extra small key anymore. And that's kind of a cute effect of that.
Yeah, I have drowned that key more times than I want to admit.
I did it very early on, like version 1 or 2 of the randomizer. And that's why they added the patch to undrain the water when you leave the dungeon. Alright, so with the hammer, let's see what that motivates Jighart to go next. Likely swamp.
That's what it looks like. He headed to Link's house, which is the quickest way to get into swamp, so. Will there be anything interesting here in the west side of swamp?
Nope. He was keeping track of what items he's found, so he knew that the last chest was either the map or the compass, and he did not have to open it.
Let's go now. Gotta be thinking with the hammer, it's gotta be Ice Palace.
Yeah, definitely could be, though. Fred has a lot of overworld locations still remaining that Jighart has checked. Yeah, he's making a dungeon play.
Jighart heads into swamp, and obviously Quake vital because Turtle Rock is locked by Quake. But other than that, he's not gonna find anything of interest. But Fred might find some really nice stuff here in Ice Palace. Now, I did not see, but I don't think either one of our runners, even though they had the opportunity, I think either one checked Spike Cave, and I'm not certain that Fred picked up the mushroom when he went through Hookshot Cave. I'm sorry, Jighart went through Hookshot Cave. I don't think he picked up the mushroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's just hoping he doesn't eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, does he? Unfortunately, if he checks his menu, we'll probably see powder,
See
even if he has
powder.
the mushroom. Yeah.
You gotta think that the bow is likely here in ice.
Yeah, that would be the remaining item, I think, that opens up the most new locations.
Of course, it could be the ice rod, and how apropos, which would send our runners to Trock.
Yeah. Not a place that you like to go early. You really like to save that for last, but it also does have 5 locations plus the Mimic Cave.
Plus, since both Eastern and Pod are pendant dungeons, it's entirely possible that the bow's in Ganon's tower.
Mm-hmm. And the bow is required to complete Ganon's tower. So going there without the bow and hoping it's in the dungeon is a pretty fun gamble. Now, depending on who you are, you may or may not put fun in air quotes in that sentence.
I forgot. They can't go to Turtle Rock without the big red cane, though.
How could you forget that?
I don't know. It's late.
Maybe it'll be a caneless seed somehow.
Not with Turtle Rock.
There may be a way.
I have played one caneless seed, though.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is one of those items that you could possibly complete the game without.
Very rare indeed, because both Meyer and T-Rock would have to be pendant dungeons. Non-pedestal seed and the big key in Ganon's tower could not be on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 5 out of 22 chests are blocked by the cane in Ganon's tower. Ooh, and there's the bow. A nice palace.
It is.
Still going through the dungeon. Oh, wow. Jighart, he had to chase Argus down, but in the end, he actually did successfully do the quick kill, the double fire rod spin combo.
All right, so we've got the bow. Gosh, we really need that big red cane, though. But now that we have the bow, we have 5 items in Palace of Darkness. 6 if you count the green pendant, because Pod is the green pendant, isn't it?
I believe that it was, yes.
Yeah. So the odds of the big red cane being over there is they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, and I think it's really the most logical place to go now. Do you recall if there was another item location in Eastern Palace? Like, did Armos have an item?
I want to say yes, but I can't say that with any degree of certainty.
Yeah, that may actually be okay to do if they full clear Palace of Darkness and find nothing.
That's gonna hit Cold Stare. Cold Stare does have an item, so that could be our big red cane as well, or it could be the ice rod, which I mean, completely appropriate.
Yeah. Cold Stare with Bombos and the gold sword. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's only 4 slashes each to kill them with the gold sword. Plus the fire rod does a ton of damage, and yeah, play a magic remaining. Or 1 spin at 3 slashes. Nice and easy.
Boom. Beautiful. That's just about perfect for a cold stare kill. I did not see what item he just picked up.
I think it was a key.
I think it was 2 based on the sound that it made, but well, it certainly wasn't the big red cane.
No, unfortunately not.
And that's gotta be Kane! Over on Jig-Heart's screen, it was in Swamp Palace.
Wait a minute. Was it the last chest in Swamp that Fred accidentally skipped?
He made a mistake. He must have miscounted his items. Oh my gosh, you hate to see that happen.
Oh man, I wasn't even looking at Jighart's screen because I knew there was nothing there. But I was wrong.
Oh my.
Oh man, that's one of those things that like he's gonna be checking all those overworld locations and everything. He's not gonna think to go back there. He'll probably go back to Thieves Town, Big Chest before that. I mean, if he starts thinking I miscounted items in the dungeon, that's probably where he'd go first.
But he won't, like you said. He's gonna assume that he's gonna check. He's gonna full clear pod here. He might go. No, I can't remember. Did Fred check the pedestal? No, I think Jighart checked the pedestal already, so he knows that it's just a heart container. Fred might decide just to do a blind pull.
I think they both may have read it.
Okay.
I hope so. For Fred's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. And that hurts. Just, I mean, we've all done it at least once, right?
Oh.
We've all miscounted chests. We all have thought we checked a certain item, didn't. I mean, it's just it's sad to see that happen in a tournament match.
Yeah, it is possible that he maybe already suspects that he made a mistake. Sometimes you do some action and then immediately question yourself, but you don't want to actually go back and check because it takes a long time to get back in the swamp. Well, not a long time, not like going to Turtle Rock or something, but it is a little bit of a tedium there. Well, who knows? We'll have to see what happens.
Considering that chest is so far on the west side of the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, at very least, he could walk in the dungeon, check his menu, and see that he has all the dungeon items. That could at least confirm that there may be something there for him. But yeah, it's I feel like it's pretty unlikely that he's going to go back there.
But that being said, remember, Scudge, we still have no ice rod.
Oh yeah.
If the ice rod turns out to be here in pod, and Fred realizes his mistake quickly, we might still have a match.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really just a question of if or when does he make that observation. Getting blocked by the...
Yeah, this is awful.
He does have the gold sword, so it's only 4 hits to kill it.
Yeah.
2 slashes, but when you do jumps like that, you do half damage because you're poking him. Yeah, we also don't have the lamp. It's not, I mean, a lot of people say Turtle Rock Dark Room is one of the easiest ones. That doesn't necessarily mean that every player is going to be comfortable doing it.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. Let's see, Fred.
Wait a minute, he has the lamp. Where did he find the lamp? Oh, was it in this dungeon? Oh man. Okay, so we just got the lamp. Never mind. Still remaining for Jig-Heart. Not remaining for Fred.
That ice. Now, it is possible anyone who remembers playing in version 21 will remember that the ice rod can certainly be in Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Once Jighart completes Ice Palace here, if he's comfortable with Dark Turtle Rock, he may YOLO it.
Yeah, yeah, that's not an uncommon gamble to make, actually. Hoping to get the ice rod, even sometimes hoping to get the fire rod there. If there's not a lot of good locations left, people will go to Turtle Rock, hoping to find it. Not a lot of places that could be, but ice rod could be anywhere other than Trinex.
So unfortunately, we've reached a segment in the game where it's going to be a hot minute before Fred gets to Helmsur King. We know what all is in Ice Palace, so we're left to purely sit here and speculate right now. So, wouldn't it be a trip if Ice Rod was actually at Armos Knights? We mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Or it could be Sahasrahla could be holding it for ransom for the green pendant as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think, other than Turtle Rock, I'm trying to
Well, they have crystals 5 and 6.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of them have been to the pyramid to check the regular pyramid item, or up to Catfish. Since the hammer came fairly late, and they pretty much just checking out hammer lock things. They never really went to that part of Dark World. Oh, it was like an arrow upgrade or something on Gold Star.
Arrow. Oh man.
Gold Sword is gonna kill Helmsur really fast. Only 2 hits.
What is Helmsur King gonna drop?
Hmm.
The Riot Shield. But that is the green pendant, so you gotta believe Fred's next stop is Sahasrahla. If you hear me.
He's in the vicinity already. Yeah, and Jig-Heart's gonna make his way up to that dungeon as well. Not going with the Turtle Rock gamble. Can't say I really blame him, though. It's not, as I said, it's not a very uncommon gamble, but if there's other lucrative places. It's not bad to check those first either.
Is the ice rod? This could get interesting because it'll give Fred. It is not the ice rod. Never mind.
A blue thing.
It was blue, right color.
Ooh, I think he might be going into Eastern now to kill Armos.
Like you mentioned, we still have not seen either of our runners go to Catfish. We have double-chested fairy available. There are a couple overworld locations they can still check, but we are slowly running out of options.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they also haven't done? Hammer pegs at the Smith's house. That is such an easy one to forget when you've already turned in the Smith.
Now, it looks like we did guess right, and there is an item at Armos Knights, which, quite honestly, always seems to be the case when you don't have the bow and you have to go into Eastern Palace.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I think statistically Armos is it the one that is most likely to have a progression item of all bosses. That may not have been on this version of the logic. I may be recalling a previous version.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't recall either, but I have the sneaking suspicion that it was a previous version as well.
Ah, okay.
But don't know that it would have changed that significantly between versions, because that was not one of those things like, you know, the ice rod always being in Turtle Rock in version 21.
Hmm.
Some coming up here for Armos Knights.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting them with the wooden arrows instead of the silver arrows because he has not checked Hype Cave yet. He's really playing into that whole dungeon focus of this logic version, leaving even some lucrative overworld locations, which happen to not be lucrative most of the time. Yeah, so he may actually be playing the logic pretty well, just kind of miscounted. That's all it's going to take.
But until Jighart finds the ice rod, Fred's got a chance.
Oh, yeah. Jighart trying to be a little
And
fancy.
speaking of the ice rod, there's the ice rod for Fred. So,
all right. Well, where does that send him? Is this where he starts checking the overworld?
Let's
I
see.
think it has to be.
He has to. He knows what's on the pedestal, so he knows diving back into Misery Mire is not going to bear him any fruit.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's left.
Oh, I think he could have got between those squirrels. It's sometimes hard to tell, but I'm fairly sure he could have.
So if Jig-Heart decides after clearing Pod to go clear Overworld, Fred's got a possibility to stay in this race.
Yeah, that's really what it would take.
It would take another miscounting on Jighart's part to counteract Fred's miscounting of Swamp Palace. So we all know Fred's not going to find what he wants here.
Yeah. And Jighart isn't going to find what he wants here either.
No. Interesting that Fred never checked Hype Cave either. He does not have the silver arrows.
Yeah, since he lost his portal when he turned into Smith in order to check the Bat Cave, he never did like the southern Dark World loop from town.
This is one of the worst hookshot caves I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Fred's almost certainly going to go check Spike Cave now.
Yeah. With half magic and Canterburna, he'll have no trouble getting through here.
Without a doubt, but I mean, it'd be nice if he were to find, say, the red mail here, but
yeah, I guess there's a few luxury items still remaining that he could find. Worst things to find now for him would be fetch quest items.
So for Willard, he very definitely miscounted. He did left side, but he neglected to open the one remaining chest that has the Canis Samaria. He clearly miscounted.
Yeah. Where's he going from here? Probably Hype Cave, maybe a big old fairy.
Yeah.
And other Dark World stuff. Again, he hasn't done Haunted Grove for the mirror location south of there.
Now that Jighart has defeated the Helmeser King, if he counted properly, he's going straight for Armos Knights, which means he will be going straight for the Ice Rod and Go mode.
Yeah, Jighart's decisions right now are pretty much going to decide whether or not this is the final nail in the coffin, or if Fred could potentially have a chance.
If he turns around, that's game.
Yeah.
That's game.
Yeah, really unfortunate when something like this happens, but it does happen sometimes.
A nail in the coffin. Oh my gosh. I absolutely feel terrible for Fred. Such a great guy, such a active member of the community. Hate to see that kind of thing happen with particularly when it's a person that you know has the experience and the knowledge to see them make this kind of mistake. It should make a lot of the people who are new to the randomizer feel a whole lot better, because if someone as experienced as Fred can make this kind of mistake, you shouldn't feel so bad when you do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, it's not going to be out of the tournament. This isn't like it's an elimination match or anything, but it is going to put him in a pretty scary spot in the Swiss group stage. But being 0-2, you are going to match against people with a same record, so his following opponent is probably going to be a little easier, to put it plainly. You know, at least his next race or two might be easier.
It will put him into literally must-win territory.
Yeah.
Jighart is about to grab his Ice Rod. That will put him in Go mode.
Yep.
And it will be a quick trip to Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower with Butter Sword Silvers, Blue Veil, and 14 hearts.
Yeah,
and half magic.
That's going to be nice. Yeah, Fred's, again, just checking these last overworld locations. Probably what I would do, too, if I was in the exact situation he was in. Actually, I probably would have done these earlier. But that's
at this point, you have no other choice. You know that diving into a dungeon is not going to help you. You can't go into Turtle Rock.
Well, you can go inside, but you're not going to do much after.
Has activated Go mode. He's heading into Turtle Rock. Fred is, as we used to say in the fighting game community, mentally guard broken at this point.
I have no idea what that means.
A euphemism for the term mind blank.
Oh, okay. That's clever.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Back of escape. These are okay locations, but unfortunately, they're not going to be the correct ones.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's going for that one treasure chest in the dark here. Again, but, you know, this is exactly the right way to play it if you're under the assumption that you have counted all of your dungeon chests properly.
You know, I often lose count in dungeons or just forget to count. And I kind of think of that as like a bad thing. But I usually end up opening all the chests, even when the last one or last two are dungeon items. Maybe it's actually a good thing that that happens.
I find myself many times just hitting my start menu and checking what dungeon items I have.
Yeah. It takes 1 second to open and close the menu approximately, so double checking if you're uncertain, not always a bad idea. I think maybe Thieves Town is next. Big chest in there.
Yep. Because neither one of our runners had the hammer when they went in there.
Yeah.
Jighart gets to do Turtle Rock here. He's already found one small key. If he finds another small key and the big key over here, he'll be set up pretty good.
Yeah, all he needs are just those keys. Doesn't need to look for any other items. Yeah, it's not going to be a Thieves' Town, but it is going to be another not ice rod containing location.
Yeah. Or Kane.
Oh, right, Kane for him. Sorry.
There's
Oh,
no,
but it's a
that's
fetch quest.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Because now he's gonna go dig up the flute location.
Yeah. Well, he'll be doing this whole south loop actually. A couple other things
Man.
along the way.
You know, you've got to think, unless my memory is incorrect, if Fred had grabbed the Canis Maria when he was in Swamp, I think he would be in the lead.
Oh yeah, I think so. Because he had checked a lot less overworld locations that ended up not paying off at all. Basically, everything he's doing now, Jig-Heart had already done. So he had a lot more locations checked. Jig-Heart, that is. So yeah, that would have put him in a great location, a great spot in the race.
As it stands right now, barring a miracle, this is Jighart's race.
Yeah.
I mean, and at this point, you know, this is where you start panicking because you're getting down to the wire here. There's only a couple other locations you can check, and although I've never been in a tournament, I've played in quite a few races, and as you start getting down to the wire here, and you realize that there's no other option, but you made a mistake counting chests, it's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in a normal race, you might, I mean, especially if it's a big race, you can kind of just forfeit and like nobody really knows. But in a tournament race like this, like you know that everybody knows, and that makes you feel kind of bad.
But like I said, I mean, this is such an easy mistake to make, particularly in the heat of a fierce competition.
Yeah, it looks like
this.
Pyramid now, maybe Catfish.
Yep.
Actually, he was already at the pyramid, wasn't he? Yeah, he opened up the wall, but I guess he didn't check the other item.
I don't know why not.
He may just be flustered.
Oh, without a doubt. Wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate when you go for such a long time without finding a single item. That's the worst feeling. There's a lot of locations that kind of have, you know, at a lot of points in the game, you're like, there's all these locations that are about equal, you know, or at least kind of close to equal. You got to pick one. And if you pick the wrong one a few times in a row, you got to think maybe my opponent picked the right one earlier than I did. That's kind of what he's thinking now, I'm sure. Anyway, Jighart has enough keys to get through this dungeon. Doesn't need to go into the laser room at all. He'll make his way to try next. Pretty easy boss to kill when you have the equipment that he has, especially with half magic. I mean, he doesn't even need that. If he had like just the gold sword, he'd be comfortable. If he had just half magic, he'd be comfortable. But he has all of them. You're gonna have to hit the fire in the ice head once with the opposite rod in order to make him vulnerable to other weapons. Only 3 hits with the gold sword to kill each head. You have to switch items before the head starts exploding because you can't open your menu during an explosion.
Is that another one of those RAM issues?
I'm not sure. I think it's just sort of a boss death thing. Like they didn't want you to kill a boss and then like switch to the mirror and leave or something. Because you can't really save and quit or menu after any boss except for light world bosses. For some reason.
Is it, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to revive the tradition. The Jighart is about to enter Ganon's tower. There are 22 possibilities on the lower level of Ganon's tower for the big key to be in. Tell us, ladies and gentlemen, what chest is it going to be?
I think it would be very appropriate for it to be tile room.
That's true. I'm going with number 13. Lucky number 13. We got somebody going for pie.
I think that's when it's on the torch, but you don't have boots.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kind of like 3, but not exactly.
Like that match the other day where the big key was on Bob's torch, but the boots were in chest number 2.
Oh, yeah. That kind of thing is fun.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, Jighart checks chest number 1. That is a small key. Chest number 2 is a small key.
Yeah, it seems like the standard these days is if you get a small key in this room to continue on the right side. That wasn't too common for a while, but lately that seems to be the standard. Oh yeah, now Fred's checking the big chest in East Town. You know, I don't recall if there was another item remaining in this dungeon. If he didn't think there was, maybe he's starting to think he miscounted.
We'll see as soon as he switches to the hammer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is another item here.
Yep. Sure enough.
Switch to the boomerang, but yeah. I wonder what it is. Not what he's looking for.
And Jighart. To find anything. Oh, there's the cape. Great place for the cape.
Imagine if Cape was here, boots were at Bumper Cave, and the big key was in the torch.
All right, Wizrobe.
Just a heart. A piece of heart.
Just an arrow upgrade on Bob's torch, so Bob lives today. So, Jighart checking Stelphos room here, or Stall Child room.
Alright, that's where it's going to be.
There it is.
4 keys, so he is ready to launch.
It is Bum Rush, Aghanim 2, and Ganon.
That's right.
In the end, this comes down to this whole race came down to a single chest in not Skullwoods, in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. Looks like Fred's gonna get the
calculation.
So we'll get to see what that item is. I mean, I'm kind of, curious what all these item locations end up being. Unfortunately, none of them are going to be what he wants. Switch to the Canis Mario for the gauntlet. I wonder if that was a mistake. Yeah, okay. Switching to the bow. That's what you want.
Particularly if you got silvers and 33 arrows.
Oh, yeah. The gauntlet is a series of 5 rooms in Ganon's Tower where you have to kill all enemies to proceed. They have various different hazards, including beamoses on conveyor belts. Some really great design, I think. The rooms are very simple. They're not like overly cluttered, but they're quite challenging, even for an experienced player.
Absolutely. Particularly the room that Jighart just got through. I think that is the most unpredictable room with these stall childs.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're really hard to kill sometimes. Especially when you're walking around on a conveyor.
Jighart is past Gauntlet Part 1.
Oh. The Beamos dry fired a couple times.
Wish that would happen to me.
Ooh, silver arrows on my molas. Nice one cycle.
Ooh,
have a lot of trouble timing those shots.
That was just plain pretty. And now Fred, you see Fred's screen. He has stopped. He is sitting here thinking, okay, I have now done everything. What do I do now?
Yeah.
He's got to think, where did I go wrong? He knows he did something wrong, but what was it? I can, having been in this situation before, I know exactly what he's thinking. He's looking at the map going, all right, I checked Cave Above Graveyard. I checked King's Tomb. I checked this.
Yeah. Dang, what's it gonna end up being?
Point where you start going back into dungeons, you just walk in the front door, check your menu, and see what, if anything, you forgot. Nope, he's stopped again. Jighart gets 300 rupees in Ganon's tower. It's a bit late for that.
Well done, goes down very quick to the gold sword. 2 attacks. Slash and a poke will work, 2 slashes. 2 pokes will not work, but it's the only combination of 2 attacks that won't work.
And Jighart bombs the validation chest.
Uh-oh. This room can be pretty fun. Start playing pinball.
Oh yeah. There he goes. Ganon 2. Good setup here. He should be able to get, at least a double. Oh, now. Wow.
Unfortunately, that second phase, I think he only got 2 hits because 2 of them hit him around the exact same time.
Yeah. There has to be a break between if two of those hit him at the same time. It'll only count for 1.
Yeah. I get them 2 down. All that remains is killing Ganon. Don't imagine he's going to have much trouble there.
I don't think so. Butter sword, silver arrows, 15 hearts. Yeah, I think he's all right. Fred's still not realizing he needs to go back to swamp.
It's getting colder.
Yeah.
Getting warmer. No, unfortunately. Going the wrong way.
Yeah. Fred's definitely mentally guard broken now.
Yeah. Jighart's going to use the cape here. You only got to do 6 hits per phase in the first 2 phases. For new players, it's a little hard to identify the exact distinction between the first 2 phases, so sometimes you miscount. But if you do way more hits than you need to, like he did there, then you know you're always going to progress the fight correctly.
So could we say that Kane choke slammed Fred?
We could say that.
Ooh.
Alright, 3rd phase is down. 4 silver arrows. Gonna take this pig out. Doesn't need to about the torch glitch when you have silver arrows. You don't want to get knocked off though.
No, not at all. So Jighart here, I thought he was waiting for the second torch to go out, which would have bought him a little bit more time. But no, he's going to get a double here, and she should be good to go. There we go. It is still possible for him to fall off here, so until he enters the Triforce room, I'm not going to say good game.
It'd be hard to do at this point, but it has happened. All right.
is that Jighart has won this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, 49 seconds. Congratulations to Jighart.
Yeah, and it looks like Fred, unfortunately, not going to be able to complete this seed.
He did forfeit. Hate to see that happen. As I said, Jighart obviously should be proud of his victory. He did a great job, great play from both of our players. It's just unfortunate that it ended due to a mistake. But if I were Jighart, I'd take the win any way I can get it.
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win for sure.
SRL chat, Fred just said, crud, I miscounted.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations to Jighart. He is now he's 1-1, correct?
Yeah, that'll put him 1-1.
Okay. All right. Fred drops to 0-2. He is now in must-win territory. He will have to win his next 4 games in a row. But quite honestly, Fred is more than capable of doing that. So congratulations to Jighart on this victory. I do not know if we will get either one of our runners into the chat for an interview, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tap out here. I will turn it over to Super Scudge. It is midnight here where I am, and I have to be at work very early. But it was so great to be back commentating this amazing tournament and being involved with such great folks again. Scudge, thank you for being my commentary partner tonight. It was a blast.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining me as well. Good to have you back, and yeah, get some sleep.
Yeah, go interview our runners and express my condolences to Fred for the way that one turned out.
Sure thing.
All right. This is Phantom Ryu signing off. Continue to watch the rest of this tournament on Speed Gaming 1 through 4. There's also the secondary tournament on Randomizer Mania, like 1 through 6. This is amazing the way this community has grown. Make sure you follow the runners here today. Follow my commentary partner, Super Scudge here. I am signing off for now. I will be back shortly. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Hey, Jighart.
Hello.
Congratulations on your win there.
Thank you. That was a scary one. I'm a little sad when I opened up the stream and I saw Fred was so far behind. I thought we were neck and neck in GT, honestly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's how you always feel kind of when you don't know where your opponent is. You're always worried that they're either right on your tail or ahead of you.
Yeah, Fred is a scary one, so I expected a really close race. But yeah, I'm happy anyway.
Yeah, you definitely played well. So I mean, it is unfortunate that it came down to kind of a silly mistake, but that does put you 1-1 in the Swiss rounds going forward. So you're in a little bit better of a position.
Yeah, I can officially face Ben next round if I'm lucky.
That's true. That's true. Are you hoping to get matched up against a player like Ben?
I don't know. I mean, that would be a good race anyway, but I don't know who's 1-1 right now, but I think there's a lot of good players, so we'll see, I guess. I'm not gonna gamble on that right now.
Right. Yeah, so Fred actually checked a lot of dungeon locations first and found a lot of the important items really early, since the overworld locations were pretty much all really bad. You checked a lot of those early. So yeah, he ended up having to check all those after missing the cane, and it was a little sad to watch.
That was a tough one.
I don't know if we can get Fred in here. I forgot to ask, but he's out of the IRC chat now. I'm not sure if he's going to want to talk about that one. Let's see. Well, how are you feeling about your position now? I mean, obviously you're a little bit better position than you were in before in this round of the tournament. Are you pretty confident in your following races? Do you think you're gonna make it out of the Swiss stage?
I think I have my chances. 1-1 is definitely okay. I was a little afraid to fall to 0-2 because that's dangerously close to elimination. I guess it all depends on who I'm gonna face, but I think I'm technically allowed 2 more losses in the next 4 races, so I think I have decent chances.
Yeah. If you get four wins, you'll definitely go forward. But at 3-3, you'll have a chance at a wild card spot. So you wouldn't be out of it even with 2 more losses. But with only 1 more loss, you'd be in a definite position to advance.
I just need to stop dying 40 seconds into the blue guards. That was amazing.
Yeah, was that like nerves or something, or your hands weren't warmed up yet?
Yeah, a little bit of that. And I usually never get both cards in, I just get one of them. I need to watch that again and see what I did wrong. But yeah, that was a nice introduction.
Well, luckily it didn't cause you to lose or anything. Only 40 seconds lost.
That's okay. That's not the right mindset to begin with, but that's okay.
Well, congratulations again. And of course, good luck in your following matches. I don't think we have another A Link to the Past match on this channel, but I believe there's one scheduled to start at 5 o'clock on Speed Gaming 2. And there will be other matches on this channel later. Looks like that one was canceled. We're getting news from our boss, Fiesel, that the 5 p.m. match has been canceled. So there will be Super Metroid on this channel, scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. I'm going to quickly check if there's any secondary tournament matches going on. Doesn't look like there's one starting until 7 p.m. So yeah, you're going to have to be without Randomizer for an hour. I hope nobody has any withdrawal symptoms in that time. But yeah, everybody, thanks for joining us for this race. My name is Super Scudge, and I think that'll just about do it for this broadcast. So see you all next time.
Thanks all. Have a good one.